Burghley horse trials, held each year in the parkland surrounding Burghley House near Stamford, Lincolnshire, began in 1961, when a suspected outbreak of foot and mouth cancelled the 3-day event planned at Harewood House near Leeds, Yorkshire, and David Cecil invited the British Horse Society to move the event to his Burghley estate. Attendance figures have risen from 12,000 in 1961 to 160,000 plus in 2018, all of whom appear to be crossing Burghley's Lion Bridge in this video shot on my Saturday visit. The idea was to try out the A6500 on faster moving subjects than the sculptures and paintings it normally gets pointed at with gay abandon, and capture some stock eventing footage I'll probably never use. But it was a beautiful sunny day and I'd been given free tickets. Obviously I'd sooner spend the day shooting around God's own city of Glasgow, but despite assiduously checking the post each morning, the King of Glasgow never sends me any free tickets. He's a rubbish king.
You say a rubbish king. This from the failing erased culture. Fake news, ladies and gentlemen, fake news.
The rig was the same as the one used for the Glasgow Wandering 2 video. A6500 mated with the Sony 1650 lens atop the Moser Aircross gimbal. This is not really a light combination and gave my forearms their hardest workout of the year, tramping over the rough terrain of Burghley Park. The bright weather called for ND filters, but I'm lazy and stopped the aperture down instead, which is good enough for my needs, and as I keep saying, I'm not a photographer, or videographer in this case, just someone who ponces about in art galleries with a camera. I could have increased shutter speed instead of relying solely on aperture size, but wanted to keep the action as fluid as possible, sticking with the shutter speed twice frame rate rule. Stationary shots caused little problem, with the camera exhibiting its accustomed autofocus prowess. Little problem apart from the moire, that is, which afflicts the A6500 anytime a pattern comes into frame, witnessed by the moving bark on this log jump. Moray on the Sony resembles the rash Tarquin develops anytime work is mentioned to him.
I heard that, you idiot!
Following horse and rider was virtually impossible. The rear screen is near invisible in anything bar overcast days, and all I could do was wave the gimbal in the general direction of interest and hope for the best. But that's my general technique anyway. In the footage with rapid camera sweeps, the background tends to become a blurry pattern, but the subject remains pretty well defined. Mounting the Sony on the Moser allows much smoother pans than handheld. So smooth in fact, I probably wouldn't even bother stabilising in post. And this is with the camera stabilisation activated, which is generally advised against to avoid the camera stabilisation and gimbal stabilisation conflicting to produce bouncy footage. I'll make a video on the Moser and compare results with IBIS activated and deactivated at some point. Maybe. Reviewing the footage at home, all was not well. There were several dirt spots. Damn, and I'd cleaned the lens before leaving home. Perhaps there was some dirt trapped behind the UV filter. Filter removed and the camera pointed skywards, the marks were still visible in the new footage. The sensor must be dirty. No amount of blowing and cleaning could clear the sensor, and on closer inspection, the sensor had what looked like little silver cracks. Now these defects could have been present from new, and because I normally shoot in dark art galleries, the blemishes were not immediately apparent. They certainly weren't caused by mishandling, as I baby this camera and avoid use in dusty environments. A quick call to Amazon and they promised to refund me on receipt of the faulty camera, and I immediately ordered another A6500. Did this fault not sour me towards the A6500? Not at all. Despite wanting to return to Panasonic as soon as they produce a camera with reliable continuous autofocus, which they currently don't, contrary to others' claims, the A6500 is near ideal for my needs. My final observation from the day's shooting is the horses there were more suspect than Team Sky.